Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to be here with my first video in English. So this is going to be for all my English speaking friends all over the world, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. It's actually going to be about a subject that I absolutely love. The video is going to be about the law of attraction, about manifesting, and I will share with you two crazy stories that happened to me in the past years that made me believe so much in this law, in the power of the universe, and I hope it will inspire you too. By the way, make sure to subscribe to my channel because more videos will be coming up soon. So the first time ever I actually heard about this law of attraction was back in 2012 when I saw the movie called The Secret. It was created by Rhonda Byrne, and it was about the influence our thoughts have on creating our reality. It was the first time ever that I actually came to hear this information, and for me it was a total game changer because I realized how my thoughts filled with negativity shaped my reality up until that point. So I decided to change it. I decided to change my life, to change my attitude, to change the way I saw things, and it has been a continuous process ever since. I also experienced in my life so many moments when I actually came to this conclusion that the universe is actually magic, that somehow we are guided to make the best decisions for ourselves, that we are never alone if we connect to this higher power that is all around us. So the first story I actually want to share with you is from back in 2015 when I visited for the first time the United States of America. I was there for the summer for 4 months with the work and travel project. I got a job in San Francisco in California. It was a dream come true because I was working in a chocolate shop, ice cream shop, so it was amazing. I would probably do another video about that. I also made a lot of plans to visit at the end of my stay there, the south of California with Los Angeles, Grand Canyon, Las Vegas, and I actually wanted to see also New York. So of course I knew that I had to earn a lot of money in that meantime. I knew I had to make a plan because of course I had to pay for travels, for a lot of things and activities I wanted to do. The first month in California was actually pretty rough, pretty hard, because we were given a job at this chocolate shop with very few hours. We were barely making enough to survive in the city. I actually wanted to raise enough money to recover my investment in the program and to have enough to travel at the end of my stay there. And I knew in that time that I have to get a second job to make it possible to do all those things. So I started going from shop to shop, from restaurant to restaurant, and leave resumes every single day. I did that for about 1 week. I was leaving like 20-30 resumes per day, and I was so exhausted by the end of my third week there because I didn't get any answer. I was lost. I was desperate. I don't know how to make it because all my relatives, all my family, friends were watching me from back home and they were expecting me to make it, so it was a lot of pressure for me to be there, to survive and to actually achieve all my dreams that I wanted to achieve. I didn't actually know how things will turn out. I didn't know how to make this kind of money to afford all the trips I wanted to do, but I do remember specifically one day I was visiting a friend and I was talking to her about how hard it was. I do remember that feeling. It was horrible. I don't wish that for anybody. And I remember when I went out from her apartment in the street, there was this huge billboard on a building right in front of me with this message exactly, and two people standing on the rooftop of a high building, and the message was, "Your LA story is waiting for you." I don't know how, but in that moment I felt and I knew 100% that I will be there and that things will work out in the end. And I think 2 days after I saw the message, I actually received a call from a friend, and he said, "Hey, you know, there is this hiking rental spot, they are hiring new people, you should come." And that's how I got the job that actually helped me afford all the trip and helped me recover the investment I made in the program. It was a really crazy story, but what I want to emphasize here is that when the universe shows you the signs, we have to be prepared to see them and to follow them, because the universe knows better than us. Sometimes we might get so caught up in the moment, in our negative feelings, in this feeling of, oh, I don't know, not being enough, of not knowing what to do, what our next step can be. But paying attention to the signs, we will actually see that we are being guided all the time. So my second crazy manifesting story that I want to share with you today happened in 2018 when I was visiting Paris for the second time. I was back then in that day with my then boyfriend. We were visiting this futuristic part of the city called La Défense. It was with really beautiful office buildings, skyscrapers, so it was amazing. My boyfriend is actually in his last hours before catching the flight. He had to go one day earlier than me back home, so he was having his flight, and I was supposed to meet my parents in the city. We were staying for an extra day. I remember back then, that day, and actually the entire trip, that I hated my telephone, because it was an iPhone 5S. I didn't have memory on it anymore. It was outdated. I couldn't take beautiful pictures, and I had this feeling in myself that, oh my god, I have to change my phone. I have the money, why don't I do it? You know, I could just easily buy a new one. I was actually thinking it that same day, that probably for me to change my phone, two things have to happen. Either I broke it, either I lose it, or it's stolen from me. After lunch, I told my boyfriend, you know, let's find a restroom because we have to go separate ways. I don't want to be stressed with this. And we actually found a McDonald's next to the metro station that we were about to board at. And I remember I had my phone back then in my jeans pocket in the bag, and I took it out and placed it on the toilet because I didn't want to drop it on the floor. It was really dirty. Oh, guess what? It stayed there because I absolutely forgot about it. I went my way, I went out of the restroom, I met him, and when I was sitting at the table, you know, I tried to reach for my phone again to look something up on the internet, which route to take back to the city, and then it hit me. I realized, oh my god, I left my phone in the toilet. So it was crazy. I rushed back in, but it was already gone. It was stolen. I tried to talk to manager. I tried to convince them to show me the video records, but there was nothing conclusive. My boyfriend actually had to rush to the airport because it was 1 hour away, so he had to catch his flight, and I was all alone by myself in Paris with no no phone. He gave me actually one, but it was only for, like, I could only call for an emergency, a number. I don't remember having internet on it. I managed, while I was still with him, to contact my parents and some friends to meet with them in a certain metro station in the city, and I said, okay, let's meet at the exit that is the closest to the river. So I jumped on the metro and I was heading to that station by myself. I am lucky because somehow the universe gave me I don't know, like an internal GPS. I'm not losing directions so easily, so I'm pretty good at this, and I actually had a map of the metro stations. But when I reached that metro station where I was supposed to meet with my friends, I actually realized that metro station was one of the biggest in the city. It was right in the center, and it had 22 different exits. I think 4 of them were close to the river. And I was like, how the hell am I going to meet with them? How? It was crazy. I didn't have any phone numbers to call. It was a lot of people there. Imagine, like, one of the most crowded places you've ever seen in a big city. And I was desperate. I remember in that moment, while I was heading to what was supposed to be one of the exits next to the river, I said, God, universe, please, please, please help me, please send help. I'm all alone. I cannot contact anybody. I was desperate. And you cannot imagine this, but 5 seconds after saying this, I actually bumped on the streets of Paris into another group of friends who were just heading at the airport to catch the same flight as my boyfriend's back home. And I started to cry. I was like, oh my god, I'm lost. I lost my phone. Please, please, please give me your phone to contact this other couple that I have to meet with. It was crazy, but I knew back then, I knew in that exact moment that I was also being guided and I was protected and everything was actually going to be okay in that moment. So I called my friends, we eventually met, and that was my story of crazy adventures in Paris. Of course, when I got back home, I actually bought a new phone. So I bought my ideal phone that I also use now. It was an amazing upgrade for me because it helped me with my business so much. It helped me with my social media, with my branding, with everything. It was, in the end, it was how it was supposed to be, I think. What I actually want to include at the end of this video is that we are always being guided, that we are always protected by someone up there, something up there, like an energy, universe, God, however you want to call it. If we connect to that higher power, our life will be so much easier. I gave you just 2 examples of moments in my life when I was in crisis moments, I think, when I felt desperate, when I felt lost, when I felt like I didn't know what to do next. And by just connecting and asking for help for the universe, I received it and I was able to take inspired action. I hope this message stays with you. I hope it inspires you to believe in this bond that we have with this energy, with this higher power, and I hope you will have amazing manifesting stories for us all, and please share them below in a comment. Thank you for watching. Please again subscribe to my channel. I'm sure we will build an amazing community here.